So you see Brad Kilburn on your left with Jeskai Control, Jody Keith on your right with Grixis Whir. And we will prepare here for our third and final game. Now, what's going on here with this Grixis Whir deck, my friend?
A lot.
Yeah.
It sort of looks like a good stuff artifact deck in the spirit of the Lantern control decks. No Lantern engine. There's a Crucible plus some of the strip mines. Artificer's Intuition, Whir of Invention.
Artificer's Intuition, you say?
Yeah.
How many?
One.
Oh. All right.
It's got Chalices plus Jar to lock people out.
You mean Greg Hatch's invitational card?
Mm-hmm.
Artificer's Intuition? That's a favorite of Greg's. That's for sure. Who, by the way, we'll be seeing in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Just so you know. Now, what's he playing? Who knows? But the team, as I have been told, of Greg Hatch, James Gates, and Sam Stein.
Wow.
Circa 2007.
Orange County PTQ.
Yes.
13 years ago.
We'll be coming to SCG Vegas in November.
Couldn't be happier about it.
I'm looking for some real West Coasters that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
In November next month. Don't let us down. Do not let us down.
Also, register now.
Yeah, get that taken care of.
You want to register now.
That's smart. That's how you do it right there. You're going to want to get that
It's going to hit the cap. It's going to hit the cap.
Yeah,
so.
Well, for everyone on the West Coast's sake, it better hit the cap. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah. All people who are like, when are we going to get an open in Los Angeles again? It's a lot of magic, but this is your chat. You got one crack at this.
That's right. Here we go. Jody Keith going to start things off with a Flooded Strand. It's a steam fence there for Brad Kilburn. Keith will search up a Watery Grave. Jody loves to brew.
Yeah. He's in that part of his streaming career where he's doing it for the culture.
That's right. See what we can do with this deck. An island off of the Scalding Tarn into Sorceress's Spyglass. Mana Leak. Plains, Lightning Helix, Cryptic Command, Snapcaster Mage, Plains, Entreat the Angels. Two of those in here.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Normally something you associate with more of the blue-white straight cantrip builds.
I associate it more with Legacy than I do Modern.
See it here and there in Modern.
Occasionally. We'll get confirmation on what Jody's naming here momentarily.
Harder to do it with the miracles in Modern because the floor is so much higher. It's not trivial to shuffle things away with Brainstorm.
Jace the Mind Sculptor has been locked down there by the Spyglass as we head over to Brad. Brad will play a plane, simply pass the turn back over to Jody. And Jody going to play a Mox. Jody going to play a Glimmer Void. And Thinking Chalice. Knows the opponent has Mana Leak, though, so just going to hang tight. Lightning Helix is going to go upstairs. They're targeting Jody Keith. Now we go back over to Brad. It's 23-15 now in favor of our Jeskai Control player who will play a Scalding Tarn. And just pass the turn back. This is a Whir of Invention.
And trying to induce the Mana Leak here, or simply let it resolve and get whatever he's getting.
A very, very, very powerful card is Whir of Invention. Still waiting for this one to break out. I think it will eventually.
So Keith dialing up a Spellskite here as cover for his other artifacts.
Turn on that Mox, too.
Mox is now online.
Yeah. There it is. Blue, 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 X. Improvise. Search your library for an artifact card. Your mana costs X or less. Put it on the battlefield. Straight onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Keith here lead off with the Crucible. It's one of those, if it resolves, cool, and if not, also cool.
Looks like going to start with a Chalice. All right, going to leak that. Okay. And Jody knew that was a possibility. Another Mox. Going to lose that Mox. 3 mana. Well, he values Crucible pretty highly, as that's the follow-up. Going to get a Scalding Tarn, and now he's got a Mana Engine online.
And it's not even clear how good the Chalice for 1 is in the long term against Jeskai control. And with Crucible plus Spellskite, he's got a lot of cover. And if he finds Tectonic Edge or Ghost Quarter, it's hard for Jeskai control to play through that.
Tectonic Edge, a card I've not heard from in a while. 1 in the main deck. Okay. Interesting.
And he's got 4 copies of Teleria West too,
Yeah.
so he can find it, and that's going to be tough sledding here for Kilburn if Keith can get it all set up.
It will be tough, but time is a thing that's a real factor. Now, as you see, we got about 2 minutes left to go here in this match, so we can be working ourselves towards a draw here pretty early here between these two players. That opt is going to resolve. We're going to head back over to Brad Kilburn now. Brad will draw a card. He'll play a Colonnade and just pass the turn back. So we're going to head back over to Keith, who's going to sacrifice this Scalding Tarn. Get himself. Not that Spellskite. He'll shuffle that back in. A little accent there. But he get himself a copy of Steam Fence. We're going to head back over to Jody now. Play a Scalding Tarn from the graveyard. That's his land for the turn. This is another Sorcerer's Spyglass. So Jody can do a nice job of kind of putting a lock together, I guess I would say.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if this one resolves. I'm guessing it'll name Teferi Hero of Dominaria and just say, I mean, I've got a Spellskite here as protection for them, and I just don't see you being able to play through without your Planeswalkers. He would be very heavily exposed to Engineer explosives.
You see the cards here. Cryptic Command, Entreat the Angels, Steam Vents, Scalding Tarn, Plain. So not a great hand here for Brad by any stretch. He's actually going to name Celestial Colonnade there with the Sorcerer's Spyglass. Follow-up is Phyrexian Revoker. Okay, so that's going to name something. So this is some sort of weird prison lockout deck that Jody Keith is playing. That one's going to name Teferi.
Yeah, so now Keith at this point just needs to avoid a hypothetical Engineered Explosives, and his setup's very good. Not a whole lot of live cards left in Kilburn's deck.
Well, I'm going to see if there's an Engineered Explosives running around here.
Yeah, this is all theoretical. I don't even know if there's one in the 75.
No, there doesn't appear to be. From what I can tell. And Jody will draw a card. He'll play a Ghost Quarter. Okay, well, now he gets to go towards that. But we're in turns now, folks, so we'll keep track of exactly what turn we are on. And again, we see the life totals here 20-13. I think it's just going to be too tough for either player to get the game done. Just don't think there's enough time, as there's a copy of Field of Ruin. Turn 0 right now here for Brad Kilburn. So that means Keith will have 1, 3, and 5. Kilburn will have 0, 2, and 4. And it looks like Jody Keith says, I'm going to fire off a Ghost Quarter. You can search for a basic if you want. Taking a look at the basic count in case this game would actually go long, which it will not, unfortunately, for both of these two players. 3 islands, 2 plains, and a mountain. Yep. So Jody's got this real long-term plan of blow up all your lands.
Keith can be very aggressive going after the red mana, too, to cut off any shatters. And then it's hard to know how Kilburn breaks out, barring surgical extraction or some other anti-graveyard measure.
Keith will draw a card on turn 1, play a Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn back. There's a Plains. There's a bunch of mana. This is maybe an Entreat here for Brad. Okay. Yeah, it makes him 2 Angels, I believe. But only get to make 1 attack. I don't know. 13 minus 8. Uh-oh, this could be a Whir. Well, that's a good draw there for Jody Keith. Now, I don't know what this Whir finds. Only the leader of the Goon Squad knows that. But it's got to be something good. Otherwise, I guess he's not at risk of being burned out because of the spell skite.
Yeah, it's hard. Keith's position is really commanding here, barring some sort of sweeper or a cryptic to bounce a key lock piece and then follow up with something major.
Well, we know that Brad does have a cryptic in hand. We know that. So let's see what this one's going to be. All that work for an expedition map.
Is he getting a Teleria West?
I have no idea. All that work for an expedition map?
That's it? That's
the big plan? For an Inventor's Fair?
That's as big as you can dream?
I want to make sure I get this right. Which can search for any artifact.
Yeah.
To get a land that searches for an artifact.
Right. It's going infinite.
Okay. I guess with Crucible, you are going infinite.
Yeah.
With the Inventor's Fair. There it is. Crack this. What on earth is this?
What could he do here that he couldn't do just through Whir last turn? I guess if your point about the Crucible plus Inventor's Fair is probably
you just get to go infinite with whatever you're gonna do. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
Whatever that is.
You'll always get to search for whatever artifact you want now. Does this deck contain any good artifacts? Unclear.
Second spell sky.
Are there any artifacts worth searching up in your deck, Jody?
Going infinite and driving around in a circle can often look like the same thing. Ooh, Bottle of Cloister, 2 cards a turn. Yeah. Just fail to find.
You can't do that. It can't be fail to find. It can't be.
Bang!
What? We did all that for a welding jar?
No, we did all that for a free welding jar.
Oh, sorry. You're right.
It cost him nothing.
You're right. That is, well, that's something. That's a thing that happened. That's what I'll say. That's a thing that happened. Boy.
It's a nice looking turn.
It's
a nice looking turn.
I was expecting like Spine of Isha.
Right.
Or like something that does something.
Yeah.
Now our spell skite is mega protected.
Yeah. You're not getting off that spell skite.
It's turn 4. Here for Brad. He'll play a land. Brad would like to attack. Brad will attack just with the Angels. All right. And Jody's going to fall down to 5. See if there's a way for Brad to actually win this turn. So I think he's got to go Cryptic Command bouncing the Spell Skite. Yeah, bounce the Spell Skite, draw a card. All right, I think that's what it's all about right now.
It's a curious line unless he's just bolting him out from here.
Well, I think that's the plan, right? Like if he draws some number of burn spells, he can just cut. I think he just drew a Lightning Helix. He's reaching for mana, so that's a bolt.
Yeah.
Yep, you're at 2. And then he's got a Ren, a white man at the top. Yeah, Helix you. That's game. Brett Kilburn going to win this game and match here over Jody Keith. 2 games to 1. Jeskai Control going to take care of Grixis Whir, in which we word for Expedition Map.
Expedition Map